Cedar Falls, Iowa, 11:47 p.m. Drew Bailey left his shift at the Cedar Falls Mill Diner and vanished into the dark. Tonight we're opening Unsolved Case File number 6. The story begins on a cold, rainy night. Drew had just clocked out from his job, ready to head home. He walked the familiar path to the Elm bus stop, a place he'd stood hundreds of times before. But this time was different. Security cameras caught him waiting for the 11:50 bus, a lone figure under the dim streetlight. And then, at the exact moment the bus was due, the camera feed cut to static. When it came back online, Drew Bailey was gone. For weeks, the case went cold. The police had a single grainy image of Drew at the bus stop and nothing else. They canvassed the area, spoke to his coworkers, his family, his friends. Everyone said the same thing. Drew was reliable, kind, and had no known enemies. He was a creature of habit. His disappearance made no sense. The official theory was that he simply walked away, but his family never believed it. They knew something terrible had happened in the moments the cameras went dark. The town was left with a ghost story, a cautionary tale whispered in the late hours. But the digital trail wasn't completely erased. Recently, investigators using new software managed to recover 3 fragmented frames from the damaged security footage. It's not much, but it's everything. The first frame shows Drew looking down the road, likely for the bus. The second frame shows a dark, blurry shape approaching him from behind, just at the edge of the camera's view. The third frame is the most chilling. It's just a blur of motion, a chaotic smear of light and shadow, and then nothing. Was this an abduction? An attack? The poor quality makes it impossible to be certain, but it confirms one thing. Drew Bailey was not alone at that bus stop. The shadow in the footage became the first new lead in years. With this new information, detectives went back to the original case files, re-examining every statement. And they found something they had previously overlooked. An elderly resident who lived a block away from the bus stop had called in a tip the morning after Drew went missing. At the time, it was dismissed as unrelated. The resident reported being woken up by a distant shout around midnight. They looked out their window and saw a dark-colored sedan speeding away. They also remembered seeing a brief flash, something metallic glinting under a streetlight as the car turned the corner. It wasn't much to go on, but combined with the new CCTV frames, it painted a much darker picture of Drew's final moments. This led investigators back to the scene, combing the area one more time, tucked away in the overgrown grass. About 20 yards from the bus stop, a search volunteer found a small, rusted keychain. It wasn't something you'd easily notice. On it was a small, tarnished metal badge, engraved with the initials JT. At the time of the original investigation, police couldn't connect it to Drew or anyone else involved in the case, so it was logged into evidence and forgotten. But now, with a potential second person and a vehicle involved, this small, discarded object could be the physical link they've been searching for. Could JT be the shadow from the footage? Let's piece together this new timeline. At 11:47 p.m., Drew is seen on camera waiting for the bus. At approximately 11:55 p.m., a witness hears a shout and sees a car speeding away. The recovered CCTV frames show a second individual approaching Drew moments before the camera cuts out. From the moment Drew was last seen clearly to the moment the witness heard the shout, there are only 8 minutes unaccounted for. 8 minutes. Within that tiny window, a confrontation occurred. A car sped away, and Drew Bailey disappeared from the face of the earth. The keychain found nearby is the only tangible clue left behind. Every second within those 8 minutes holds an answer. The case of Drew Bailey remains unsolved, but these new puzzle pieces bring us closer than ever before. What happened in those 8 minutes? Who does the keychain belong to? And what did that witness really see? The truth is buried in the details. What is your theory? Let us know in the comments below. For more unsolved cases, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. We appreciate you helping us keep these stories alive.